welcome Malcolm Noble, Chairman of the Chelmsford Society. God save the Queen!
What an intro, eh? I could get used to that. Yeah. I was going and I was asked to say something about the background to this exhibition, but I don't dare. There's so many experts on the Titanic and its links with Marconi around here that I couldn't possibly do so. But that's the good news. And even more good news is that we've got Tim Wonder here, who will be taking you round the exhibition and showing you everything about it, about the ship itself, the sinking, and why it's here, which is the link, of course, with Marconi. I'd like to welcome everybody here. What I can't do, as well as not telling you the story of the sinking, is welcome everybody. There's so many Chelmsford celebrities here, could hardly know where to begin. But welcome, of course, again, Councillor Hughes, Mayor of Chelmsford, who will in a moment be asked to declare the exhibition open. Not all that open though, because the public are not invited here until Saturday. I'd like also to welcome our friends from the United States, from different parts of the United States, for the Titanic channel. And isn't it great that they've come over here and shown that the importance of the Titanic in America as it is to England. So a round of applause, please, for our friends in the Titanic channel. I'd like to also welcome Neil Ridley from Aquila, who has arranged the granting of this space here in Bond Street as part of the new development to the Civic Society, and I can assure you that we will be looking after it for you, and thanks to Aquila for that. I'd like to welcome Laura Rostrom, connection with Aquila, of course, because the flagship store of John Lewis Partnership has now opened, and it feels as if it's been there forever.
6 months.
I've been here 6 months now. And Laura's going to say something.
Oh.
I thought I'd catch her by surprise.
Malcolm's very kindly allowed me to do a little touch for John Lewis, because we have got our My Jail event tonight, so it was just to say if any of you would like to come along tonight at 6 o'clock. We've got lots of exciting things going on in the shop. Come and join us, have a drink. I think we've got some ice cream as well. The sun is shining. It'd be lovely to see you all there. Thank you, Malcolm.
And I'm also grateful to our
tea ladies, yeah, with Matt and Becky.
volunteer helpers that are here. I'd like to mention 3 other people as well. On the banner headlines, this is an exhibition of the Chelmsford Civic Society, and we're very proud to be badged with this exhibition, but it's actually some individuals that have done marvels. This last year with the Marconi exhibition and lecture programme in Hall Street, and now with this exhibition, to put the Marconi heritage on the map. Pam Swaby, Ross Webb and Chris Neal, and all the other here and others who've been involved with that. So again, a year ago, the Royal Society of Arts and the Heritage Lottery Fund started, and it's an annual event now, giving a score, a league table, Heritage Index, about how well different towns and cities are doing about caring for, looking after, preserving their heritage, which after all, which is the Civic Society is about, across the United Kingdom. And a year ago we did not come out very well, except in the area of landscape and natural environment and our parks, which did score well. We were very much at the lower end in Chelmsford, in really actively caring and showing interest in our heritage. A year on, in the second year of the index, we've jumped from the bottom quartile as far as the industrial heritage of Chelmsford is concerned to the top quartile. And it's these people in the various Marconi groups here who have achieved that end. So who knows where we'll end up next year. I'd like now to invite Councillor Hughes to declare the exhibition, the Titanic Exhibition, open.
Distinguished guests on the cover, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me enormous pleasure to be here this morning and to welcome you to Bond Street and to the touring Titanic Honour and Glory exhibition in conjunction with the Chelmsford Civic Society. I noted with interest when I was reading that the society was formed in 1962, I believe, and it was formed by the late Councillor Jean Roberts, MBE, who in fact was the first Lady Mayor of Chelmsford. As the current Lady Mayor of Chelmsford, I am delighted to say thank you so much to the Chelmsford Civic Society and to Sean and Malcolm for bringing this wonderful exhibition to Chelmsford and giving its residents the opportunity to immerse themselves in the splendour and the history of this majestic ship. I'm sure that most of you know that we have the close link with the Titanic and the Cunard steamship Carpathia, which came to her assistance when she met her fate in the early morning of April the 15th, 1912. And as the rest, I'm sure you all know, having done your history. But it now gives me the greatest of pleasure to be able to formally declare this exhibition open.
Well done.
Now the difficult bit. It's cost a fair bit of money to put on this exhibition, and it'll be running for 3 months from Saturday. People, unlike the previous exhibition, people will be charged not a lot of money, just a fiver for coming to it. You, ladies and gentlemen, have not been charged, which doesn't prevent you from reaching deep into pockets and donating money before you leave. And we'd be very grateful if you did so. And also, before you leave, make sure that you join Tim Wonder and his tour taken around. When do you propose to do that then, Tim?
What I was thinking actually, Malcolm, was rather than do a tour, because there's a big group here, and having just come into this at the very last minute, what I thought I'd just take a minute to do is talk about the Titanic. Those who know me know that talking for 8 or 10 minutes is almost impossible for me. After the first 2 hours, people start to get broken.
Ring the bell when it's 2 or 3.
Yeah, actually, and I was really looking forward to a big application. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, thank you for all coming. I'm not going to teach you about the history of the Titanic. It's an iconic name that's now burnt deep into our consciousness across the world. 3 films, 2 TV series, millions of words on the internet, countless books, a whole TV channel donated to it from Friends from America. I think what I'll just take a moment to do is to say what it means to Chelmsford. And it's in 2 areas really. The first one is, of course, with the Hall Street Works, the world's first wireless factory, from which the modern industrial revolution started. Over in Hall Street, it still survives, looks fantastic now with Marconi Wireless Telegraph Company in front of it. That's where all the equipment for the Titanic was built. Chelmsfordians built the wireless equipment. It was that radio equipment with the radio operators, John Jack Phillips, Howard Bride, sending CQD, who actually saved 705 lives. Without their work, without them literally transmitting until the power went off, we would never have known what happened to the Titanic. She would have disappeared without a trace. She was mid-Atlantic, she hit the iceberg, she went down in just over 2 hours. Therefore, without wireless, we'd have lost nearly 3,000 souls. The fact that 705 lives were saved with all the problems of life jackets and rafts we all know about, was solely down to the Chelmsfordians, the Marconi company, and the work of Guglielmo Marconi. But one of the things I was just going to say was that the Titanic is one of those moments in time where the world changes. Yes, there were other disasters, greater losses of life. The RMS Lusitania that was sunk in 1915, more people were saved by radio, and more people sadly died, and it brought America into the First World War. Thank you for coming in late, by the way. It was appreciated. But, and in 1909, the Republic incident, thousands of lives were saved by radio, but the Titanic just came at that moment in time where the world was ready to actually now adopt the fact that after 1912, with the huge inquiries, that every ship over 500 tons had to carry radio. And until that time, it was quite normal for people who went to sea just for ships to disappear. Thousands of people were lost. And suddenly, the doors opened, the legislation was in place, and for Marconi's, what did that mean? Well, in 1912, by pure coincidence, before the Titanic sailed, the Marconi company opened the New Street Works. Part of it still survives, the world's first purpose-built wireless factory. And that is really the true heart of the modern electronic age. Television, radar, cameras, all came from the New Street Works, which still part of it survives. Now, that factory was sitting in 1912, empty, only about a quarter full. When the Titanic went down, that moment in time, that wheel in history changed, and suddenly, by 1913, the Marconi company was the busiest electronics company on the planet. They were bringing extra huts, extra buildings. It was no longer busy enough. Now, that had a huge impact on Chelmsford, but much, much more importantly, and I once said, maybe famous on page 3 of Daily Mail, the Titanic had to sink. If it hadn't have sunk, the Marconi company would probably have collapsed and gone bankrupt in 1913. Just a year later, we went to war with Germany, the only other supplier of radio equipment on the planet, excepting a few American systems which never worked overly well. Sorry, you don't get away with that done that easily, yeah? In 1914, it was made by a little company called Siemens House, and they were on the other side. So we would have gone into the First World War without a radio industry. So in point of fact, the Titanic, as its iconic name, is burnt deep into our psyche, but also runs through the DNA of Chelmsford, as does the Marconi company in its 130-year history here in Chelmsford. The Titanic story will go on. It will endure through exhibitions like this, through books and TVs, and hopefully now a nice TV programme. Hopefully catching my good side as well as we go on. And look, enjoy the exhibition. Please come and see us at Oakland's Museum as well, where we have a great Marconi and a great exhibition there, which celebrates the whole of Chelmsford Industries. And indeed, let me just have a little pitch that we have an open day at Sanford Mill, my alma mater, which there we have the operating bay for the Titanic replica and some original equipment made in Hall Street. And of course, we're now heading to the centenaries of British broadcasting. I don't get out of here without mentioning the fact it's almost 100 years since the birth of BBC, and again, that's another story that Chelmsford needs to tell and tell well. I'm here to answer questions. There are some books on sale about the Hall Street Works, which all proceeds go to the Civic Society and the museum, which I have to sign for people. I had to write that last year to look after Hall Street, which tells the story of many photographs. I'm here to answer questions. I'm not going to do a guided tour, but if you catch me, I can fill you in on a few bits. I usually take questions and answers here now, but I'm going to get out quickly and hand it back to Malcolm and say thank you for listening and enjoy the exhibition. I'll see you on the 22nd.
Well, where is the time for you to do your tour without Tim?
Well, I'm here. If everybody really is desperate, I'm here.
We're with you, but please look around the exhibition, and please, when you go, speak to your family and friends and get them to come and visit us from Saturday. Thank you very much for coming.
Wireless.
Yeah, I know you did. Sometimes I just have to turn the key a little bit.
So, is it wireless or radio? Yeah. Wireless.
Is it aerial or antenna?
Why did it? It should be radio. Why did
According to the Oxford English Dictionary,
Do you know, as I say that, Peter, I looked at you.
I know you
I couldn't resist it.
I know you did.
Sorry. You don't get out that easy.